Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm 41, a single parent to two amazing boys, and founder of Soul Tribe Studios. Now, life has thrown a lot my way over the last few years, navigating the challenges of motherhood, bereavement, and more recently, divorce. Some days I honestly feel like my mind is racing and like there are too many thoughts at once. Then it gets really hard to focus and ultimately I can freeze. So, if that resonates, I want you to know that you are not alone. So many of us feel this overwhelm as we navigate midlife. But what if this isn't a crisis, but your awakening? In this video, I want to share my journey through these challenges and how I discovered that midlife can actually be a time of clarity, renewal, and transformation. So let's dive in and rise together. So, today I'm going to share my journey of the last 10 years with you. And it's not going to take that long, but my hope is that it will help us to feel more connected, less alone, and more able to navigate the challenges and transitions of this stage in our lives. So, I want to take you back to 2015. I was 30. I had a newborn and a 2.5-year-old. So sleep was pretty hard to come by. And that is not to denigrate the absolute bone deep joys of being a mother, but it was hard work. Joyful, but hard work. And alongside that, my dad was not very well with a prostate cancer. And we were supporting him. He was doing really well at the time, but it was still part of the emotional storm, really, that was going on inside me. And let's add another layer of that my marriage really started to fall apart in that year. And I don't know about you. Maybe you've been through separation, divorce, maybe you haven't. But in my story, it was quite a slow journey to the end. It took ultimately 6 years for us to reach the point of divorce. And by that time, we'd been married for 15 years. So that 6 year period was extremely challenging. My beautiful dad passed away in 2017. And I always say that that was both the most brutal and spiritual experience of my life, being close to him as he transitioned from having a human body to not. And then by 2020, 2021, it was very clear that my marriage had ended. And really, and I'll talk about this more in future videos, but the bone deep knowing I had had about things not being right for years really came to the fore. And I finally listened to what my intuition had been telling me. So by 2021, I was still experiencing all those joys and challenges of motherhood. Grieving my dad. I don't think that we ever get to the end of grief. I think it moves through us really for the rest of our lives. And divorce brings with it also a kind of grief, a deep, deep kind of grief. There were challenges to be navigated. So, how to even get to grips with being a single parent, how to deal with the daily rising panic that I felt not having a kind of wingman, other adult in the house to help me through those things. Now, my story obviously is personal and specific to me, but where I think we can all connect and resonate is that it's often this period of life, maybe from like 35 to 55, where it seems we are hit with a number of big, challenging life events. So maybe some of yours have been the same or similar to mine: becoming a parent, separation, divorce, looking after parents or relatives, bereavement. And on top of that, as women, we can also be in the first throes of perimenopause and menopause. So we have hormones to navigate, energy levels might not be quite what they were. And we need different things to what we needed when we were 25. So I turned deeply to yoga, meditation, and somatic practices during this time. And it's an ever evolving journey for me. Another big change was that on the back of my divorce, I decided, well, everything's changed. Why not change another thing? So I left my 15-year teaching career to set up my own yoga studio. And that has taught me so much about not only yoga, spirituality, but who I am as a person, how I am resilient, how I am creative. It's taught me a lot about business, and I'm still learning. So I really feel that while the last 10 years have been the most challenging of my life, they have also been the most abundant in terms of growth, in terms of me feeling like I have not gone through a crisis. Yes, a lot of things have been shared, and there have been some truly difficult, challenging moments. But there has been and continues to be a rebirth. And this is where I want to meet you and hold your hand through sharing our stories, and also through me sharing some of the practices that have most held and helped me and continue to do so. So if this little video of mine has resonated, if you feel even this much less alone by hearing another woman's story, then drop a little line in the comments to let me know. Let's connect. And watch out for the next video when I share with you some practical things you can do to help those moments when you are feeling overwhelmed, when you feel like your mind is spiraling out in 1,000 different directions, to come back to a state of focus. In yoga, we call this dharana, focusing on one thing at a time. I can't tell you how much that this has helped me. And in the next video, I will explain to you exactly why. So thank you for being here, giving me your time, and I will see you in the next video.